Welcome to Books Central Inside the Pages, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of literature. I'm your host, Abbie, and today we have a special guest joining us. She's none other than the author of the hilarious and heartwarming bestseller, Christmas, It's One of a Kind. Please welcome Claire Summer. Claire, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Your book has been causing quite a buzz, especially with the holiday season just around the corner. Can you give our listeners a sneak peek into the world of Christmas, It's One of a Kind?
Thank you, Abbie. I'm thrilled to be here. Christmas, It's One of a Kind is a story that revolves around Steve, an ordinary dad desperately trying to find the hottest Christmas toy for his 3 children. It's a comedy filled with uproarious situations, shopper battles, and the chaos that ensues in the lead up to Christmas.
Oh, that sounds delightful. I can already imagine the laughter this book brings. Tell us, what inspired you to write this story?
Well, Abbie, the inspiration came from my experiences as a parent during the holiday season. The pressure to fulfill our children's wishes is immense, and I wanted to highlight the absurdity and hilarity that can come with it. I teamed up those experiences with fictional comical scenarios, hoping to bring joy and laughter to readers' lives.
I'm sure many parents will relate to that feeling. And what can readers expect regarding the comedic elements in Christmas, It's One of a Kind?
Oh, Abbie, I spared no effort in infusing the book with non-stop laughter. From Steve's wild goose chases to secure the toy to the ridiculous battles at the Christmas markets, readers will be taken on a roller coaster of comedic scenarios. I've incorporated hilarious dialogue, overpriced food items, and even a bit of slapstick humor. It's all about creating those laugh-out-loud moments that make readers feel good.
Fantastic! I'm sure our listeners will be running to grab their copies after hearing about all the laughter. Now, Claire, I have a request for you. Could you read a funny excerpt from Christmas, It's One of a Kind for our listeners?
Absolutely, Abbie. Let me find a hilarious section for you. Here it is. Steve knew he was in for a wild ride when he made the fatal decision to embark on the quest of finding the hottest Christmas toy for his 3 children. Little did he know, he was about to enter a battlefield of crazed shoppers, frenzied parents, and malfunctioning shopping carts. Christmas chaos was in the air, and Steve was about to become its hapless victim. As he walked into the toy store, the cacophony of screams from children ricocheted off the walls. It was as if every kid in town had decided to stage a karaoke competition amidst the shelves of toys. Steve couldn't help but chuckle as he witnessed one little girl belting out Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You" at a volume that could wake the dead. Ignoring the mini concert nearby, Steve ventured into the toy aisle, only to find himself engulfed in a stampede of parents racing towards the last remaining Turbo Turtles. It was like watching a flock of seagulls fighting over a hot chip at the beach. Yet, amidst the consumer chaos, Steve managed to maintain his balance, dodging desperate parents like an Olympic gymnast. Finally, he reached the shelf where the coveted Turbo Turtles were supposedly hiding. But instead, all he found were empty boxes, as if the toy store had just hosted a vanishing magic show. A bespectacled store assistant approached him, looking like a deer caught in headlights. Steve, desperate for answers, exclaimed, "Excuse me. Do you happen to have any Turbo Turtles left? My kids have been dreaming about them since last Christmas." The store assistant's eyes darted nervously, as if he were about to reveal classified information. "I'm afraid we just sold out. But rumor has it that a truckload of Turbo Turtles will arrive in 30 minutes. That's when the real battle begins." Steve could almost hear the theme song from the Hunger Games playing in his head as he imagined the impending melee. Gathering his strength, he decided to wait it out. 30 minutes felt like 30 years as the crowd swelled with anticipation. Every parent seemed to be practicing their battle cries, ready to pounce on anyone who dared stand between them and a Turbo Turtle. Steve, however, had developed a rather unique strategy. When the truck finally arrived, releasing a horde of Turbo Turtles into the store, Steve dove headfirst into a nearby bin filled with stuffed reindeer. Now, dressed like a deranged reindeer aficionado, he crept silently through the crowd, undetected by the bloodthirsty parents. Steve smirked as he heard a voice bellow, "Turbo Turtles, 50% off." The chaos erupted again as parents lunged at the Turbo Turtles like a pack of starving wolves. While they fought ferociously, Steve skillfully bypassed the battlefield, careful not to trample any children or topple any toy displays. Minutes later, he triumphantly emerged from the toy store, clutching the holy grail of Christmas gifts, an unscathed Turbo Turtles. The victorious looks from other parents, clutching their Turbo Turtles like they had just won Olympic gold, confirmed Steve's sense of achievement. As Steve buckled the Turbo Turtles into his car seat, he couldn't help but chuckle at the absurdity of it all. Who would have thought that a toy turtle could turn grown adults into ravenous maniacs? But in the spirit of Christmas, Steve knew that all the chaos and mayhem was worth it. After all, nothing could compare to the joy on his children's faces on Christmas morning when they unwrapped their very own Turbo Turtles. And so, with a mix of comedy and chaos, Steve vowed never to underestimate the power of a coveted Christmas toy and to always keep a pair of reindeer antlers handy, just in case.
That's brilliant, Claire. I can already picture Steve's frantic quest and the chaos he creates along the way. Thank you for sharing that with us.
My pleasure, Abbie. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Now, speaking of Christmas shopping, what are your plans for the holidays? Have you finished your shopping?
Oh, Christmas shopping both a joy and a challenge. This year, I'm planning to take a more relaxed approach and embrace the festive spirit without any last-minute dashing around like a deranged elf. Thankfully, I'm almost done with my shopping. Just a few more gifts to cross off the list, and then I'll be able to sit back, relax, and enjoy Christmas.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much, Claire, for joining us and sharing the laughter behind Christmas. It's one of a kind.
Thank you, Abbie. It was a pleasure being here.
And to all our Books Central Inside the Pages listeners, we will see you next time, and make sure to grab your copy of Christmas, It's One of a Kind, for the perfect blend of holiday comedy and heartwarming moments. Until next time, keep turning those pages.